Okay, takers for the dissertation on how to make your guitar noodlings sound awfully reminiscent to the harmonica solo in Alice in Chains Don't Follow are the following people. Al K, Heavy Mist, Pete Steinman, welcome Pete, Peter Pineda, and Brady Smith. So gentlemen, thank you for taking me up on this offer. This is going to be a fun conversation. I don't have Miss Poopadoop's chalkboard set up yet, so we're just going to have to do this in the magic of our minds. And new people just who don't know who Miss Poopadoop is just looked at me very askew. All right, great. So what I'm not going to do is show you how to play it note for note. I think there's more value in showing you the process for how you know where to solo and which special note or notes makes it sound the way it sounds, which is why I wanted to do this. Okay, here we go. Best way to figure out what key your song is in, by the way, the first thing you need to do is figure out what key your song is in, is to take a wild guess, not a wild guess, and then check to see if you're right. Usually, the song is in the key of whatever the first chord is. So, our first chord for this song, of course, we have D. Then we have D with an F sharp in the bass, which is just D again. And then we have G, and then we have A. So you could guess D, you could guess G, or you could guess A. Like I said, 75% of the time, it's the key of whatever the first chord is. So that's a really great guess, unless you have a deep-seated feeling otherwise. So let's guess D, and I'll show you how to check your work. I'm guessing D. Okay, first thing you gotta do is work out the D major scale. We're gonna start on the 5th fret of the A string, and we're gonna go 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 4, 6, 7. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Right? Okay, but what are those notes? D. The only way to do this is to just do it a bunch of times. Every time you run into a song that you want to learn, you should do this. You should figure out what key it's in, what chords are in the key, and notes so that you can stop being so surprised all the time when stuff happens. Okay, great. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and D again. Those are the notes in the key of E. Now, let's turn those notes into chords, because we had a G in there, a G note, and we had an A note in there, so we can be pretty darn sure that we're right. But what if the chord in the key of D is A minor? Then we'd be wrong. Okay, let's check it out. Here's the rule. D, that's the 1 chord. The 1 chord in a major key is major. Okay, the 2 chord, E, is always minor. The 3 chord, F sharp, is also always minor. So 2 and 3 are minor. Don't forget that. Remember that. That's like a rule of the land. Okay, the 4th chord, G, is always major. So there we go. We've got D major, we've got G major. We're just waiting on the edge of our seats to find out if the 5th chord is major or minor. Well, it's major. So there it is. A major. We're in the key of D. Our 75% bet was right. Let's continue with the last 2. 6 is always minor. And then 7 is this weird thing called diminished. And then 8 is 1. 1 is 8. Finkel is Einhorn. All right, so there it is. Do, re, mi in chords instead of notes. I look like a fool when I try to do the diminished chord. Now I've forgotten. There we go. So yeah, okay, good. Things to remember from that segment. 2, 3, and 6 are minor. 1, 4, and 5 are major. Don't worry about 7. Good? Okay, great. So now we've established that we're in the key of D. Let us find a D on our E string. E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, no such thing as B sharp, so C, C sharp, and D. There's your musical alphabet. You don't have to memorize it. All you have to do is memorize that there's no such thing as E sharp and there's no such thing as B sharp. And then there's just sharps everywhere except for there. And there, you now know your musical alphabet. Okay, so D on the 10th fret of the E string. Step next. Are you still with me? Step next. Move it down 3 frets. 1, 2, 3. This is known as the relative minor. This is where we start that oh so familiar shape of the minor pentatonic that we all know so well, because it's the easiest one to learn. So we don't learn the D major pentatonic or the A major, they're all the same shape, right? But we don't learn the D major pentatonic. We learn its relative minor pentatonic, which happens to be B. But every single relative minor is located 3 frets lower than the major root. So D's relative minor is B. C's relative minor is A. B flat's relative minor is G. I didn't know that one off the top of my head, but all you have to know is that it's 3 frets lower. And there, now you've memorized all the major and minor relative pairs. Kaboom! All right, so we're at the 7th fret B, and we're going to do our very familiar shape. 7, 10, 7, 9, 7, 9, 7, 9, 7, 10, 7, 10. Great. Now if you start playing along to Don't Follow and you use just the minor pentatonic, you will notice that it lacks some luster. So we need to add a special note to this to make it sound more reminiscent of the harmonica solo, and that is dun dun dun, the dominant 7th relative our major key. So find your D on your high E string now. It's the same place. It's 2 E strings, so 10 on each string is both D. The dominant 7th is located on 2 frets lower. There it is. We're going to add that note to our shape. So now we have there's one here too, right? But we're not going to use that one. We're just going to add one just for fun. It's a C, by the way. D's dominant 7th, flat 7th, is a C. There it is. Here's another C. Let's now do, if you care to, if you don't, if that was enough, stop paying attention for 45 seconds. If you're comfortable going to the major pentatonic now and adding a C there, follow my lead. 10, 12, this is now the D major pentatonic as opposed to the B minor pentatonic. So now we're in our root regular pentatonic. 10, 12, 9, 12, 9, 12, 9, 11, 10, 12, 10, 12. And our extra special note is here on the 13th fret of the B string. You can recognize this as C because the 12th fret, of course, is where the guitar resets itself. It's our octave spot. It's where E is E once more. So B is B once more. 1/2 step higher than B, since there's no such thing as B sharp, is C. There it is. But what you might recognize it from is your regular old C chord. Look, B string 1st fret is the same as B string 13th fret, just 1 octave higher. So this is like a crazy high C chord that you can play. That's nice too. Sounds like wish list. Okay, great. So now what I'm going to do is play the, I'm going to be you, and other Ryan is going to come in and noodle, and he's going to be your friend who maybe doesn't know the song that well, but you need to instruct him on how to make it sound more like the harmonica solo than just playing the regular minor pentatonic scale. So we're adding the dominant 7th. P.S. They also throw a 4th in there. That is on the 8th fret of the B string, so you'll probably see other Ryan do that. But without any further ado, here is the application of what we just learned. And yeah, so here we go. Hi, other Ryan. Hi, original Ryan. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. All right, so yeah, nothing in particular. I was just noodling in my own sort of way, using mostly the B minor pentatonic scale, a little of the D major pentatonic scale. Yeah, so do it at whatever level you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable literally just going, go that speed. If you're the master, and why are you watching this video then? But if you are, and you can fly, then go ahead and fly. But at any rate, gentlemen, thank you for the request, and everybody, thank you so much for watching, for being with me and the Yellow Curtains. We're getting slowly one more thing, sort of set up, so maybe I'll find the kazoo soon, and we'll get back to our regular antics. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.